Suitables, powering imagination.
This is Mike with Suitables, here with the instructional build video for the Suitables Firetruck. Here's what it looks like complete. Let's get started. All right, so to start off, you're going to take your Suitables box, open it up, and you're just going to take all the piece parts out and lay them out on a table, spread them out. And one of the things that we do is we put some smaller, more delicate pieces into this main body structure right here. So you're going to want to check inside there and make sure you pull all those pieces out gently before popping up that main body structure, else you could damage some of those pieces. So we want to start by popping out all of the little cardboard chads in all of the slots on all of the kit pieces. And once you've done that, we're ready to get building. So go ahead and start by popping up the main body structure and then pre-fold flaps 1 and 4 on all sides. You can see flaps 1, 1A, 1B, and then you're going to grab the panel that has the corresponding numbers to it, 1, 1A, 1B, etc. Go ahead and fold those flaps, pre-fold those, and then you're going to start with step 1 by installing tab 1 into slot number 1 at the very top. Now you can push from the outside until it snaps in place and just kind of work at it with your thumbs and your hands. Now you can reach in on the inside as well and give it a tug if you need to. And then go ahead and rotate it down and install tabs 1A and 1B. There is a A side and a B side to the Firetruck. Go ahead and install those. Snap them into place, and then we're going to move to the other side, and we're going to pre-fold flaps 2, 3, and then that bottom one down there, which is number 9. So go ahead and fold those, and then you're going to grab the panel that has 2A, 2B, 3A, and 3B. Fold on the score line on the back. You're going to break in the score lines on this and on the tabs, and then insert tabs 2A and 2B into their respective slots at the top. Start pushing them in. Again, you can reach in and give them a tug if you need to help speed it along. And then move down to tabs 3A and 3B and push those in until they snap in on their respective sides as well. Now once that's done, we're going to move to the rear section, outer section of the Firetruck. We're going to flip this piece over, lay it flat. And what you want to do is you just want to fold on the score lines and pre-fold, but on these pieces right here, these flaps here, you really want to press down hard on those. So use your palms and just drag them across those score lines and make sure those are really pressed down well. That's going to help with aesthetics later. And then continue to just break in the score lines on the rest of this piece. Now the other score lines don't need to be pressed as hard as those little side and top flaps that we did just a second ago. Get those little tabs in the sides. And then you're going to pre-fold the locking spade tabs and then fold them flat down at the bottom on those tabs 4A and 4B. So then you're going to take those tabs, install them into their respective slots at the bottom of the body structure, and just push them into place. And then you're going to come around to the inside where those spade tabs are that we broke in earlier, and we're going to go ahead and fold up the right and left sides of those spade tabs to lock them into place. And you can see pretty clearly right here what those look like when they're locked into place. Next, you're going to remove the twin stick pad covers on the inside of the Firetruck next to slots 5A and 5B. You can also remove the twin stick pad covers for 8A and 8B right now as well. And then you're going to tilt the back section up and go ahead and install the large locking tabs 5A and 5B into their respective slots. And then what you're going to do is fold those tabs over onto the twin stick pads to secure them down. Next, you're going to start tilting down this top section. You're going to insert tabs 6A and 6B into their slots, but don't lock them in place. You just want to guide them in and get them started. And once they're aligned and sitting in their slots, you want to start folding down the front section there. And as you do this, you want to work it down and then get those little side tabs situated in their little slots on the sides, on the right and left sides. Once those are kind of all in place, you can start slowly working it all down and then press it down until it all snaps into place. Next, flip over the body structure, and then you're going to snap in tabs 7A and 7B into their respective slots underneath. Next, you're going to grab the front piece, flip it over upside down. We're going to do pretty much the same thing we did with the rear piece by breaking in, pre-folding all the score lines here and the little tabs on the outside. And then again, on these little side flaps for 8A and 8B, and then the top flaps, you really want to press really hard on those. Don't be shy about really pre-folding those very well. Break them in real good, but use your palm and press down hard. And then we're going to sit the front section right over the front of the body structure, and then just grab your tabs, 8A and 8B, and install them into the corresponding slots. And do the same thing on the B side. Grab tab 8B and insert it into slot 8B. And then we need to remove the twin stick pad covers for these tabs. If you haven't done that already, go ahead and do that now and just remove those. And then we're going to do the same thing we did in the rear by folding those large tabs forward and securing them to the twin stick pads. Now, we're going to grab the front bumper piece while we leave the roof open on the cab, and you're going to pre-fold that front bumper piece and make sure you break this in really well. Use your palms. Try not to crease the cardboard. You want to be kind of even with your pressure across it. Fold the sides. Then fold the locking spade tabs and then put them flat again. Now you're going to come to the front of the fire truck, and what you're going to do is you're going to insert tabs 9A and 9B into the bottom right here. And then the other tabs will line up to their respective slots. So go ahead and get started by putting in 9A and 9B. Start sliding it into place, and then you can slowly start working in all the other tabs all the way around. Do this slowly and just kind of shimmy it back and forth, shake it, just give it some even pressure as you go back and forth. Take your time, be patient, and then once that snaps into place, you're going to come to the inside now, and you're going to lift up, fold up those little locking spade tabs until they're in the up position, and that's going to clamp the whole front of the fire truck together. Now we're going to move to the light bar and the sound module installation. So start first by breaking in the score lines on the light bar that sits on the cab roof. And break in the tabs, the sides, and the tabs. Next, we're going to grab our twin stick pad. That's a 7-inch strip of twin stick double-sided sticky tape pad, and the sound module. Make sure it's switched to the on position with the on-off switch in the back. Test it. You can press the button to start and stop the sound. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be aligning the speaker and the button to the holes on the light bar. You can see the button and the speaker hole. Remove the backing from one side of the twin stick strip, and you're going to center it over the sound module and then press it down to the back side of the sound module. And then you're going to do the sides, attach those. Now, what you want to do here is fold back the loose ends of the twin stick pad to get them kind of out of the way. So once it looks like that, and you kind of fold them back, then you want to hold them out of the way. Grab your light bar, make sure you position it right so that the speaker is going to be over the speaker hole and the button's going to go in the button hole, and just kind of align it until it looks good, until you're happy with how the alignment looks. Once you're happy with it, clamp it down with your thumb, and then go ahead and release the loose ends of the twin stick pad and secure them to the underside of the light bar. Now, make sure it's in the on position before you install it. And step 12 is inserting all these tabs into their slots. And it doesn't matter which way it goes. It can go any way you want. Just make sure you get all these tabs worked into their slots. And the reason we left the cab open, this roof open, is so that we can brace the backside with our hand as we push, and we can also pull on those tabs one at a time until all of them are kind of snapped in. You want to work at them a little bit at a time. Don't just try to do one tab first and then the next one. You really kind of have to work them all simultaneously. Now, once it's snapped in, we're going to move on to inserting tabs 13A and 13B into their respective slots. But again, don't snap them in place. Just guide them into the slot a little bit, and then you need to start to fold down the flaps that go inside and start working those down. So start folding all that stuff down right there, and make sure that you get those little tabs on the sides inserted into their respective slots on either side. Once those are in place, you can start slowly pushing everything down gently until those tabs snap into place. And then you're going to want to flip over the model, and go ahead and insert tabs 14A and 14B into their respective slots, and that installs the front. Next, we're going to go on to step 15. Remove the twin stick pad covers at the bottom of the fire truck. Now, I already have one of these installed. This is the diamond plating sidebar in step 15. And you're going to go ahead and break those score lines in really well. Press hard. And this only sits a certain way, only one way. So go ahead and insert the tabs into their respective slots. And what you want to do is pinch the sidebar against the side of the fire truck nice and snug. And once you're holding it there nice and snug, go ahead and start securing those tabs to the twin stick pads. And that's it. Do the same thing for the other side and you're done. Next are the wheels. Let's go to step 16, which is the front wheels. And we're going to start by breaking in the score lines on these locking spade tabs and then folding them flat again. Then you're going to fold them up 90 degrees. So lift them up. You can see how we're lifting them up there. So once you've broken in all those score lines, come over to the front of the cab. Doesn't matter which side, and go ahead and install those 3 tabs into their respective slots. After you've got it pushed on all the way, come to the inside and then fold down those locking spade tabs, the ones that we broke in earlier, and that locks the wheel into place. We're going to do the same thing on the other side for the other front wheel. Go ahead and break in all the scores and then push it into the slots. And then reach inside and you're going to fold those to lock it in place. And then the same thing on the rear wheel. So here's one of the rear wheels, number 17. Do the same thing here. And it doesn't matter which side, you can go ahead and push it in place. Reach inside once it's pushed into place. And go ahead and engage those locking spade tabs and do the same thing for the other wheel on the other side. Next, we're going to grab our adhesive Velcro strips. And these are going to hold the straps on. So take them out of the baggie. These are very, very sticky, so you won't get a chance to reposition them once you put it down. So make sure you kind of stick it where you want it to go. Take the backing off, and then you're going to insert it into the costume, just like that. Press it down firmly. Just give it a few rubs. Do the same thing on the other side. Plop it down, press it down. And then we're going to come to the front side and do the same thing here on the opposite side of the opening. Go ahead and insert those. Placement isn't super critical as long as we have a good foundation to get the straps on. Next, we're going to grab the straps, and what we're going to do is put them on the Velcro strips in an X pattern. Now the entire strap is loop Velcro on one side, so you can adjust it for the height that you want it to sit on your child at any time. You can just take it off and take up the slack or put slack in, and that'll adjust the height that it sits on your child. So put it in an X pattern, and then when you put it on your child, make sure that the X, the cross, is sitting on the child's back and the open part is sitting in the front of their neck. And that's it. The fire truck's done. Hope you have a lot of fun playing with your fire truck by Suitables. Until next time.